So, ladies and gentlemen, in the history of the WHA, this guy was one of the cornerstones of the association with Bobby Hull, Frank Mahovlich, Gordie Howe and his sons, J.C. Tremblay. I really think that he has an outside chance of making the Hockey Hall of Fame, not for his NHL totals, but for his WHA totals, which basically hold up. He is the greatest offensive force in WHA history, and anybody who wants to argue with me, well, the stats are there. Today we're going to be talking about the legend of who I figure is the most underrated sniper and scoring star of the 1970s. We're going to talk about the great Andre Lacroix. Now, Andre Joseph Lacroix, born June 5th, 1945 in Lausanne, Quebec, played numerous seasons in NHL before going to the WHA, and he is still, without a doubt, the greatest scorer the WHA ever had, and he's their all-time leading career scorer. Now at 5'8", 175, a little bit small for a center, but his playmaking and penalty killing and face-off skills were unparalleled. Now he really got a big start playing his junior hockey for kind of a Montreal Canadian feeder system, the Peterborough Petes, where he led his league in assists in both his 65 and 66 seasons, and in points the latter season. He then played 2 seasons for the minor league Quebec Aces of the AHL, playing brilliantly in a 1968 season before being recalled by the Philadelphia Flyers of the NHL, an expansion team no less. Now he was paired on a forward line with fellow ex-Quebec winners Jean-Guy Gendreau and Simon Nolet, who later won a cup. He was an immediate star, leading the Flyers in scoring in both 1969 and 1970. Now, after the 71 season, he was traded to the Blackhawks, but because of his downturn and the change of scenery, he played poorly the next year. However, in the fall of 72, the WHA came calling, and he wasted no time returning to Philadelphia and siding with the league's Philadelphia Blazers, who later, of course, went to Vancouver. Now, despite the team going through much tumult and controversy, including the Derek Sanderson situation, Lacroix was an immediate star for the squad, leading the WHA in points that year with 124, including 50 goals. Now, in the offseason, the franchise was transferred to Vancouver, and Lacroix refused to move with the team. Thus, he was traded to even shakier team, the New York Golden Blades, which was the new incarnation of the New York Raiders, for the 74 season. Again, despite payrolls being missed, ownership folding, and the league moving the team to New Jersey on November 21st of that year, as the Jersey Knights, he was a standout, leading the WHA in assists with 80. That fall, Lacroix was named to the Team Canada 74 Summit Series squad against the Soviets. He had 1 goal and 6 assists for 7 points in 8 games and was his squad's 4th leading scorer. His lone goal was the game winner and Canada's only victory of the series, Game 2, which was held at Maple Leaf Gardens. Now, the New York, New Jersey squad moved yet again for the 75 campaign to the California region to become the San Diego Mariners, and of course Lacroix continued his success. In that first season in San Diego, he achieved his 2nd league scoring title and racked up 106 assists, the professional record at the time, and the only player other than Bobby Orr, who notched 102 assists in 71, who had ever reached 100 assists in a single season of professional play. Now, this poor record would stand until Gretzky scored 109 points in 1981. As of 2013, only Orr, Lacroix, Wayne Gretzky, and Mary Lemieux have accumulated 100 assists in a season. He also scored over 100 points the next 2 years with the Mariners as well, before the franchise unfortunately folded. Now, it was during this time that Lacroix picked up a nickname. He was referred to in broadcasts as the Magician. This was in reference to his ability to make the puck disappear and then reappear like a magician pulling a rabbit out of his hat. The opposing goalie would lose track of the puck, only have it reappear in his net. Now, he continued to star in 2 more seasons before the end of the WHA for the Houston Aeros in 78 and the New England Whalers in 79. His skills diminished at last as Lacroix played briefly and respectfully for the Whalers after the move to the NHL in the 1980 season with teammates Gordie Howe and Bobby Hull before retirement. Sorry for the delay. Now, in retirement, Lacroix has been involved with many hockey endeavors, including the Andre Lacroix Power Hockey Academy, and he was also the director of hockey programs at the Oakland Ice Center until 2005. He also was a color commentator for the official Hartford Whalers radio broadcast for several seasons before the team moved. Now, Lacroix currently owns and operates the Pond Ice Hockey Rink in Bainbridge, Auburn Township in Ohio. The pond is notable for deriving part of the electrical power from wind turbines located at the rink. On May 28, 2004, he was also named head coach of the University School varsity hockey team. Now, career records and achievements. 79 goals, 119 assists, 198 points in 325 games in NHL. 798 points, including 547 assists in the WHA. WHA first All-Star team, 73, 74, 75. Bill Hunter Trophy is the WHA's leading scorer in 73 and 75. He scored 100 points or more in 6 straight seasons, a mark achieved by only 6 other major professional players. He's the WHA's all-time leader in games played, assists, and points, and he's 4th all-time in WHA history in goals scored. Now, awards, Red Tilson Trophy, 65 and 66 with the Peets. Eddie Powers Memorial Trophy, 66 with the Peets. WBD Bill Hunter Trophy, 73 and 75. 73 with the Blazers, 75 with the Mariners. And in 2010, he was elected as an inaugural inductee to the World Hockey Association Hall of Fame. Now, his induction into the Hockey Hall of Fame may occur, but it will take probably a lot of thought by the committee to recognize somebody that should have been a superstar in the NHL, but decided to jump to the Blazers. But in his 8 seasons at WHA, he was a top 5 player there. And to my knowledge, all the other players, although they had better NHL careers, they're all in the Hockey Hall of Fame. But I look, ladies and gentlemen, those 6 straight years where he averaged between 70 and 100 assists per season. And I look what the franchises he played with, especially the Arrows in 78, where playing with Gordie Howe, and then moving on with Gordie to the Whalers in 79. Playoff totals, 257, 16 games NHL, and 14, 29, 43 for the WHA. And again, Team Canada in 74. And I saw him in 74, and a lot of people said, you know, this guy could be capable of having 150 points in a season. And in 1975, ladies and gentlemen, he came very close. But if you include the playoffs, he had 159 points that year. So that's the legend of Andre Lacroix. Thanks for listening. Please leave me a comment, like, or subscribe. Although there's no monetization on my site, I do appreciate the feedback from the great listeners from throughout the world, Europe, Africa, South America, the Middle East, Asia, all over the world. I appreciate any person that takes time to listen to my short essays, because to my knowledge there hasn't been too much independent thought relating to WHA teams and franchises besides video podcasts. But these are kind of stories of the WHA that need to be remembered. I think the WHA was disrespected, not because it was the greatest league in the world, but because, you know, when you come second, it's like AAA baseball. There's teams in AAA were just as good as the major league teams, but because it's a feeder system. But I do remember at least 300 players that got to start the WHA that played the NHL all the way in the 80s and sometimes the 90s. And let me tell you something, they deserved to be there. And Andre Lacroix deserved a better fate because he left the Flyers too early, because I think the Stanley Cup not having his name on it is quite a as we say, a deception. Thanks for listening. Bye.